Hey there viewers, and welcome back to Planet Cryos. I got a computer case here that may look a little familiar, and we're going to take a look at it, so stick around. Alright guys, so here we go. A couple of videos ago I introduced you to the Corsair 4000D Flow Black Edition, which is now an upgrade for my computer case. And what we have here is the Corsair 4000D Flow Edition in the white version. Now it isn't fully white. It does come with a nice gray trim that is throughout, and it still has, just like I showed you before, it still has some of the yellow accents just to signify this edition, which is really nice. I do like it. So this case comes with two 120mm fans, one in the front, one in the rear. I do have another build coming up where it's going to be kind of a black and white theme, so stay tuned for that. I'm hoping to get that done within the next couple of weeks. But back to this. This is obviously a little smaller than the 5000D, going down to the 4000 series, and you can get this in a couple of different variations, being the 4000D with the flush panel, or solid panel if you will. The Flow Edition, the Airflow Edition, comes just like this, where you got all the vents on the front and you got nice airflow. And then you have the X Edition, which is the RGB model, and it actually is a little more expensive, but it comes with a few. It comes with, I think, 3 fans up front and maybe one in the rear that are RGB themselves. So I opted to get this because I want my own fans that I select by Corsair, but nevertheless, if you wanted that. So again, you have the yellow accents here. I will get you some close-ups here in a minute, but you have some yellow accents around this and on the top for your USB. So what I want to do is now get a close-up here, and I'll explain a little bit more what's going on. Alright, so as I move out of the picture and get you a little closer here, you can see the Airflow Edition with the front panel is got this see-through mesh thing, which just comes off with a few tabs, and that's that. You got these little nubs here that hold it in, and that is it. It's not magnetic. You got the nice logo down at the bottom. You have a magnetic filter though, which is really nice. And that just simply slips right in there. And you can see right there, you have the included 120mm fan. And we're just going to slip this back on. No difference between this and the 5000, except for the height of it. Might be the width too, actually. Now, if I tilt this up, you will see that you have an included power button, pretty obvious, one USB 3.0, one USB-C, Type-C. You have your input for your audio, mic, and headphone, and you have a reset button. Now, what I want to just remind you is that one of the biggest differences between the 5000 and the 4000, besides the size of it, is you only get one USB 3.0 port on the top with the 4000 series, so you have to be mindful of that. So you're going to be using a connector on the motherboard that can supply 2 USB 3.0s when the case can only has one. So, you know, I don't know how many USB ports you actually need, but that's one thing to think about when you're buying this, other than the size. If you have the room, that's why I went for the 5000 series. You do have the nice mesh up on top with the little pull tab here that is has a yellow little pull tab on it so you can get it off easily. And of course, like before, it has these magnetic strips on them, and you can see one's offset, and it's offset because of these screw slits here for a radiator or fans, so it does not get in the way of the screws, and you can still put this mesh back on. So up top here, you can either install a couple of three 120 millimeter fans, or you can install two 140 millimeter fans. In addition, you can put a radiator up here, but you're going to be limited to either, I believe, a 240 or 280 millimeter up top. When you move around to the side and the front, you do have the ability to put a 240, a 280, or a 360 millimeter fan. Not easily with a 360, but you can do it. As we move around to the back here, you have your cutout down here that is meant for your power supply that you decide to put in there. You also have a removable filter for your power supply. Make sure you clean this regularly. Maybe a couple of times a year is best. And as we move up, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 expansion slots for your motherboard, whether it be graphics card or video audio drivers or Wi-Fi adapters or whatever you're going to put in there. You also have the ability to do a vertical mount GPU right here, but you're going to have to get a riser for the motherboard, so look into that if you want a vertical mounted GPU. Right here you have your cutout, obviously, for your motherboard and all your IOs for your motherboard. Back here we have the included 120 millimeter fan that is adjustable up or down. Do note that this can only hold a 120 millimeter fan, nothing larger. Of course, we have these little screws here that are, they have the little yellow washers on them that signify the Corsair design for this series also, which is a nice touch. And as we look at the back here, you can see that it has a track. It has one track for your cable management, which is very nice. When you jump up to the 5000D, if you look at my previous video on the review of the Corsair 5000D, you'll see another track going over here, which is really nice. It looks like this has included two, just like the 5000D, this has an included two spots for 2.5-inch SSDs. These can also be mounted in the front, down just in front of the motherboard if you wish, or you can purchase these separately and have four 2.5-inch SSDs in the system. Aside from the spot down here, you have your hardware that's included. They give you usually they give you a bunch of extra Velcros that you can use throughout the system. You have also the other option of putting two 3.5-inch mechanical hard drives in this tray down here. If you really wanted to, you could mount 2.5-inch SSDs in here also, just with these four holes, and then mount your SSDs in here. I don't like that. Actually, in my 5000D, I actually removed this entire cage. It's got two thumb screws right down here. You can actually, this has on the, looks like 3 positions also on this. If you remove these thumb screws down here, you can see the other one just back there. This tray has the ability to move back one more spot or forward one more spot. It's in the center position right now. It just gives you the ability to adjust for any size power supply that you might be putting in here. I went ahead and removed it just because I don't use 3.5 inches. I use, majority of my stuff is M.2 now, so that's up for you to decide. Also, I want to point out here, in addition to the track that you have for the cable management, you do have various tie-down spots for zip ties. Not for the Velcro. The Velcro is just for either basically right here or other in the system. But these other spots are little cutouts in the actual steel, in the actual casing, and you can. It even has them down here, so you can run stuff down at the bottom, so you can get your cable management to the liking that you want. Alright, so here we are back on the other side, which is the nice side. This is where you're going to want it all decorative. Again, you just have a couple of thumb screws right here. You have a couple of pull tabs, and you just pull outwards on it. And this is glass, so just be mindful of that, not to drop it. You don't. And this also has the protective sleeve still on it, plastic, so we're going to take that off when I do the build. Now in here you have the ability to go up to an ATX motherboard, really no larger than that. It already comes with the little standoff that has the nub on it, that right in the center of your motherboard. I don't know why they don't just put a screw in there, but maybe it's because it's being blocked or something. I don't know the actual reason behind that. Okay, so down here you can see two little small raised areas just on this side of all the perforated area. And if you go ahead and you take one of the SSD brackets that came from the back, you remember they were back there, you can actually go just like this and put this down and thread this into here, and now you can put your SSD there if you choose to, and you have the ability to put up to 2 there. So you could have 4 2.5 inch SSD plus another 2 down here, which is 6 if you really wanted to, if you didn't have a motherboard that supported M.2, but pretty much every other motherboard nowadays has M.2 option, and multiple M.2 options, that is too. If we take a look here at the front, this is your included 120 millimeter fan. Like I said, it can support up to a 360 millimeter radiator. I don't like that idea in this small of a case, because what's going to happen is you do have a little bit of a removable piece here that allows for a little bit of extra room. Not only is it going to be tight, but this is just my opinion, but I feel the airflow, so your other fan is going to be only half visible, or less than half. So you're going to be pulling air from the power supply area and this area that's vented right here. So I'm just not crazy about that. I think a 240, maybe a 280 millimeter fan, but definitely 240 is going to be your best bet for here or up on top. Also, I want to point out, you see this, it actually says Corsair right here, and then it also has a little yellow square that just gives it a nice touch on the inside, I believe. And this is also a shroud. I don't believe this one is removable like it is on the 5000D, but this is nice, so when your cables are coming through, you can just hide them. What's a really nice touch with Corsair, this is a $80 case roughly, and all your expansion slots on the back here have the thumb screws on the inside of the case. Some manufacturers put them on the outside of the case, mainly when they are a cheaper case, and I don't like that. Except for these expansion slots. You know, I'm kind of eating my words a little bit, but these ones are on the outside, but it's not too bad, because the case is actually well designed and is very sturdy. Alright, so my overall opinion is this is an excellent case. There is just one little flaw with it that I don't like, and I've already mentioned it, is where you get the only the one USB 3.0, which, you know, it's a little bit of a money savings. I don't know how much really, maybe $5, but for $5 I'd rather spend another $5 and get 2, because you really do lose that other USB port. So if I was going to start rating these things, you know, on a percentage scale, I kind of give this, you know, like a 9 out of 10, only because of that. I don't see any other reason or any other real big flaw with this. Just like on my 5000D, I really don't see any big flaws with this. You know, maybe if you want to say, you know, the 360 millimeter fan doesn't quite, it fits so tight, and I've watched other YouTube videos on this, so that's just something, a couple things to keep in mind when purchasing this, is just the USB, you're losing one USB port, and the 360 millimeter fan is going to be an extremely tight fit if you decide to go with that. But it may be a good option for you if you don't have a lot of room and you like things all nice, neat, tight. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But yeah, that's kind of my opinion on it. Stay tuned for the next video that's going to be coming after this, which is going to be my build in this one. It's going to be the white and black build, and obviously a little bit of gray trim in there. But I'm kind of excited for that. I think I might be doing a little light gaming with this PC. I'm hoping. I'm just going to use this monitor behind me because my desk is occupied with already a PC and all that. So guys, that is all I have for you today. Don't forget to click the like button. Also subscribe. Share the video, please, and help me get a little exposed out there. I'm just doing this for fun. I'm not doing this for money. I'm just simply doing this for fun. And all these things cost a lot of money. The camera I'm shooting on cost, you know, a couple $1,000s. So this is not, I'm not doing this because I'm trying to make money. I'm doing this simply, absolutely simply, just because I feel like it. I want to. It's not that I have a ton of money to blow on this stuff. I just want to have fun. That is it. And I'm trying to give you a little bit of education on it. And sort of my thoughts, help you decide some things. You know, maybe there's something I said that you didn't realize, and you take notice of that. But that is all I have for you. And until next time, guys, take care.